Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Texas Longhouse Mead. I'm Carlos and today we're going to be making a Lemondrop hopped lemon mead. Let's get going. Alright, for this I'm using Voskovike. So I have 10 gallons of water in here. It's one of my highly requested meads that I make. It's gonna be about 7%, and we're gonna use a Lemondrop hops in post fermentation to bring that hop flavor, the Lemondrop hop flavor forward. So for the meantime, this is gonna be a hot ferment. I already have the heat wrap on here. I put 5 gallons of water in here and then boiled another 5 gallons and then put it in here to kind of balance everything out. Right now we're sitting at about 98 degrees. And I'm using just regular store-bought lemon juice, 100% lemon juice. Well, this is lemon juice from concentrate, but it gets the work done. But these ones have sodium benzenate and sodium metabisulfite, which is our preservatives. Now what we're going to want to do is get a lot of that, like metabisulfite will create a gas as it dissolves out and emit SO2. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour our lemon juice into here and we're going to get it mixed up so that way it'll off gas. This is 10 gallons, so I'm using, what is it, 192 ounces of lemon juice. But if you want to break it down individually, it's roughly about 19-20 ounces of lemon juice per gallon. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this poured in here. I have the pump over system that I'm going to use. You can use a degassing one, a paint mixer, or the old school method, especially if you're doing 1 gallons, and just shake it, let it sit for a little bit so the gases come out, shake it again. Or doing the most does his with, he takes the cap off, puts paper towel on it, lets it sit for a day or so, and that'll help promote the off-gassing of the metabisulfite. I'm just doing mine a little bit quicker by getting it to pump over a little bit. As you get it to mix over, the gases will come out. Let it pump over for about an hour, or you can mix it, let it sit, mix it, let it sit for like a day or so just to get that going. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in and I'll be back with you guys in a second. So while this is doing its pump over, we're gonna go ahead and get our yeast started using Voskovike. It's reharvested from a previous batch of my peach mead. And so we're gonna get that rehydrated with some Go Firm, water, and a little bit of honey and see if we can get it going. Let's go check that. I rehydrated my Kvike with 9.5 grams of Go Firm, a teaspoon of honey, and let it sit in a warm water bath for approximately 45 minutes to make sure it was fully hydrated. Now that we have our yeast started, we're gonna go ahead and let that sit for 30 minutes to an hour. I like to let mine sit for an hour. It's Kvike, so you wanna make sure it's fully hydrated. It's reharvested Kvike, so you wanna make sure it fully rehydrates and it fully becomes awake and starts to ferment. And so I'm gonna let that sit for an hour. In the meantime, I have my pump shut off. It's the foam on top kind of dies down a little bit. That foam should be the sulfite degassing off a little bit. And so what we're gonna do is go ahead and get the honey in and then get that mixed in as well. It's gonna be about 1.5 pounds of honey for a gallon, 7.5 pounds for 5 gallons, and I'm doing 10 gallons, so this is gonna be about 15 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the honey in and I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, well now we have everything mixed in. The lemon juice is in, the honey's in. So we'll go ahead and get this thrown in, and I got the heat wrap on. Right now, with all the mixing and all the juice and honey that was added, we're down at 86 degrees. This is right at 84 degrees sitting in the warm bath, so that way it was warming up. So it's within a couple degrees, which will help get fermentation going. And then with the heat wrap, I'm gonna throw a blanket over, and then that'll help maintain the heat inside. Give this a quick swirl before we dump it in. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this all in. All right. So go ahead and let this sit, put the cover on, lock it down, put the airlock on, and let it ferment. And once it's done fermenting, hopefully in about 2-3 days, since it is a hot ferment with Kvike, I'll be back and rack it over and we'll go from there. See you in a couple days.
Oxygen is bad for hops, so here I'm going to fill up the headspace of this carboy with some CO2 from my cylinder tank. Now if you rack your mead right after fermentation is complete and add your hops then, while it's off gassing, you'll get a natural CO2 blanket that forms on top. After the hops have been in the mead for a week, I like to stabilize them back sweet until about 10-12 and then rack into kegs. Now, I know not everybody has the ability to keg their meads, so your next option would be to back sweeten with erythritol and then use priming sugar to bottle condition your meads. Just make sure you use online calculators for this and be safe with it. Here I'm purging the headspace with CO2. Again, oxygen is bad for hops and can ruin a mead, so just make sure you purge your headspace with it. From there, once all that is purged out, I'll stick the meads into a fridge at about 34 degrees Celsius for a week and then set the carbonation pressure to 12 psi. After about a week, I'll pull a sample to see if it's good or not, but the sweet spot is usually about a week.
Well, the kegs are finally cold and the mead is fully carbonated, so let's pull a sample and see what it's all about. There we go. Beautifully clear, nice little head on it. Carbonation is perfect. You get the hops that come off of it. You get the lemon, the sweetness that comes from it. Let's give it a try. The avocado blossom honey pairs really well with this. Like I said, you could substitute this with orange blossom honey, but I think avocado blossom just takes it to a whole new level. I really like it. It's perfectly sweet, very refreshing. Definitely crush this in the summer. It's 102 degrees outside. I take this on the boat with me all the time. I got back from Mead Stampede 2022 last week, and I took some up there with me to share around, get everybody's opinion. Nobody had anything negative to say about it. So again, this is a great recipe. A lot of people asked for it. Here it is. So make sure you stick around for more videos coming soon. Hit like and subscribe down below. And until then, skål.